There's something about Shrek Forever After that keeps pulling me back. I've watched it so many times, and every single time I reach the ending, it hits me like a truck. Not because it's sad, but because it's true. Shrek doesn't just get his life back, he gets his gratitude back. He remembers what it felt like to be loved, to be chosen, to be seen. And when he whispers, "You are my happily ever after," it's not just a romantic line, it's a testimony. It's a man who almost lost everything, finally realizing what he had. That moment made me think deeper. So here's part 3 of my Shrek theory. 2 questions. Question 1. If Puss took the happily ever after potion, what would he become? We know what it did to Shrek. It turned him into a handsome human. Fiona became her human form too. And Donkey turned into a horse. So what would it do to Puss? Would he become a human? A dashing swordsman with a cape and a smirk? Or would he become a majestic beast? A lion, a panther, something mythic and powerful? Or would he just stay the same? Because deep down, Puss already sees himself as perfect. He walks with confidence, flirts with flair, and fights like a legend. Maybe the potion wouldn't change him at all because he already believes he is his best self. And that's the deeper question. What does it mean to be beautiful in your own eyes? What if the potion doesn't show you what you want to be, but what you already believe you are? Think about it. Shrek hated himself. He saw himself as ugly, unworthy, unwanted. So the potion gave him the opposite, handsome and tired adored. Fiona struggled with her curse, torn between human and ogre. So the potion locked her into human form, the version she thought was, quote, acceptable. But Puss, he never doubted himself. He never looked in the mirror and wished he was someone else. He already believes he's legendary, so maybe the potion would do nothing. Maybe the real twist is that Puss is the only one who doesn't need it.
Hey man, this don't feel right. My donkey senses are tingling all over, so why don't you just drop that?
Just in case there is something wrong with the potion, allow me to take the first sip. It would be an honor to lay my life on the line for you.
How do you feel?
Maybe that's why in Shrek 2, he doesn't take any of the potion because he believes that he's perfect already. Maybe, just a theory. And that's powerful because it shows us something about identity. Potion doesn't reveal your beauty, it reveals your beliefs. And if you walk like you're enough, maybe you don't need magic to prove it. Question 2. Is Rumpelstiltskin still alive in Shrek 5? If you really think about it, he's the only main villain who wasn't killed. Farquaad, he was eaten by the dragon. Fairy Godmother turned into bubbles. Prince Charming, crushed by the tower. But Rumpel, he's just locked in a cage, forced to dance. And yeah, it's humiliating, but he's still alive. That matters because DreamWorks doesn't leave threads hanging by accident. Rumpel's still out there. He could be scheming, he could be thinking of revenge, or the ogres could have just ate him. Or he escaped somehow, and maybe now he's plotting revenge. I don't know. We don't even know who the Shrek 5 villain is yet. I guess we'll have to wait and see, probably. It could be Rumpel. We don't know. But if Shrek is about legacy, and if it's about returning to her roots, then Rumpel is the perfect villain to bring back. He's the only one who remembers what Shrek almost lost. He's the only one who saw the cracks in Shrek's heart and tried to break them wide open. He's the only villain who didn't get closure. Imagine Shrek 5. Imagine Rumpel crawling back into the story, older, angrier, and more desperate. Imagine him trying one last time to rewrite Shrek's life. Not with contracts this time, but with revenge. Because humiliation doesn't kill you, it festers, and Rumpel has been festering for years. So yeah, this theory isn't just about potions and villains, it's about identity. It's about what we see when we look in the mirror. It's about what we almost lose when we stop being grateful. It's about what we're willing to fight for when we finally realize what we had. Because when Shrek says you are my happily ever after, he's not just talking to Fiona, he's talking to every version of himself that thought he wasn't enough. He's talking to the monster who learned how to love. He's talking to the man who forgot how to be grateful. And he's talking to us. Maybe that's why I keep tearing up, because I've felt that ache. I've felt invisible. I've prayed for someone to see me the way Fiona sees Shrek. And I know when I meet her, when I say, you made me feel understood when no one else did, that'll be my version of you are my happily ever after. Let's not dance around it. Even the music ties into this. Think about the song that played in Shrek 4 when Fiona and Shrek were like playfully fighting, you could say. It's not flashy, it's not loud. It's soft, acoustic, intimate. It's a promise whispered after the storm. It's not about fireworks, it's about loyalty. It's about saying, I'm still here. And that's the heart of Shrek's story. Not that he found love, but that he learned to keep it, to cherish it, to never take it for granted again. And then there's my beloved monster. That song isn't about being scary, it's about being fierce for someone who finally sees you. It's about being the one who protects, defends, and stays even when the world doesn't understand you. That's why it resonates. Because when I meet her, I'll be her quote unquote monster. Not in a bad way, but in the way that means safe, loyal, and unshakable. This isn't just a fun what if, it's a mirror. It's a reminder that identity is fragile, gratitude is essential, and love is worth fighting for. It's proof that even animated films can carry such deep truths. Shrek isn't just an ogre. He's every one of us who's felt misunderstood. He's every one of us who's almost lost what mattered. He's every one of us who's had to learn the hard way that love is not guaranteed. It's chosen daily, intentionally. And when he says, you are my happily ever after, it's not just Fiona's victory, it's ours. So yeah, part 3 of my Shrek theory isn't just about Puss or Rumpel, it's about us. It's about identity, gratitude, and legacy. It's about the tears we shed at 2 a.m. when a cartoon reminds us of something real. It's about the vow we're preparing to make one day. You made me feel understood when no one else did. It's not just romance, that's testimony. That's a legacy. Maybe that's why I'll never stop rewatching Shrek. Because every time I do, I'm reminded of something I can't afford to forget. That love is not about being perfect. It's about being chosen. It's about being understood. It's about being grateful. And when I finally meet her, when I finally say those words, it won't just be a vow. It will be the closing chapter of my own fairy tale. My happily ever after. At the end of the day, Shrek isn't just a franchise I keep rewatching, it's a mirror I keep returning to. Every time I press play, I'm reminded of something I can't afford to forget. That love isn't about being flawless, it's about being chosen. It's about someone seeing you in your silence, in your mess, and still saying, I want you. That's why the tears keep coming back. They're not weakness, they're proof I'm alive, proof I'm ready, proof I'm still waiting for my own happily ever after. And maybe that's the real legacy of Shrek. It's not the jokes, not the memes, not even the soundtrack, although those do hit hard. It's the reminder that even monsters, even ogres, even people who feel misunderstood can be loved. That's why the happily ever after potion matters. That's why Rumpel's survival matters. Because these aren't just plot points, they're questions about identity, gratitude, and whether we believe we're worthy of love in the first place. Hey Tex, why don't you guys knock it off? So when I finally meet her, my future wife, my partner, my testimony, I'll carry all of this with me. I'll remember Shrek's whisper. I'll remember Fiona's choice. I'll remember that love isn't about magic potions or contracts, it's about daily decisions. And I'll look her in the eyes and say, you made me feel understood when no one else did. That would be my vow. That would be my happily ever after. And until that day comes, I'll keep watching. I'll keep tearing up. I'll keep mapping my ache into legacy. Because Shrek isn't just a movie, it's preparation. It's rehearsal. It's proof that even in the chaos, even in the grind, love is possible. And when it finally arrives, I'll be ready. Because I've been practicing my testimony all along. Alright, this is my full breakdown for part 3 of my Shrek theory. We dug into Puss and the happily ever after potion. We looked at whether Rumpelstiltskin could still be alive for Shrek 5, and we tied it all back to identity, gratitude, and legacy. But now, I want to hear from you. What do you think would happen if Puss took the potion? Would he turn human, become some kind of mythic beast, or stay the same? And do you think Rumpel is still out there, waiting to make his comeback in Shrek 5? Drop your theories down below. I'll be reading them, and I want to see how you all interpret these arcs. If you vibe with this breakdown, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs a reminder that even ogres can be loved, and stick around for part 4 when we dive even deeper. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and remember, sometimes these tears we shed over a cartoon are proof we're alive, proof we're ready, and proof we're still building our own happily ever after.